Rain or shine, inspired or exhausted, 7 days a week without exception. 60 seconds, that's all I'm asking. But those 60 seconds, compounded over days and weeks and months, will transform your default state entirely. Now, as you move through your day, something is happening constantly that most people never examine. You are talking to yourself. Right now, even as you're listening to me, there is a voice in your head commenting, judging, planning, worrying, remembering. A constant, unceasing inner conversation that runs from the moment you wake to the moment you fall asleep, and that shapes with absolute precision what you are assuming at every moment. And for most people, that inner conversation sounds like this: I can't afford that. Why does this always happen to me? Nothing ever works out the way I want. I'm so tired of being alone. I don't have enough. I'm not enough. Do you recognize it? Of course you do, because it sounds like being realistic. It sounds like being honest about your circumstances. It sounds like the sensible, grounded voice of someone who has simply learned to see things as they are. But here's what it actually is. It's the loudest, most persistent assumption machine you own. Every one of those statements is an assumption. Every time you think, I can't afford that, you are in that instant occupying the state of someone who cannot afford it. Every time you think, nothing works out for me, you are stamping that reality with the full authority of your consciousness. And you are doing this all day, hundreds of times, thousands of times, while your 1-hour visualization practice is bravely trying to establish the wish fulfilled. Your inner conversation is spending 23 hours dismantling it thought by thought. Now here is what must change. Your inner conversation must become the voice of the person who already has what you desire. Not forced, not screaming affirmations through gritted teeth, but genuinely thinking from the new state instead of about it. When you see something you want, not I can't afford that, but I could get that if I wanted. When something goes wrong, not why me, but this is working out perfectly, even if I can't see how yet. When you're alone, not I'm so lonely, but I am deeply loved. I am never truly alone. This is not toxic positivity. This is not pretending problems don't exist. This is choosing consciously, deliberately, with full understanding of what you're doing, to think from your desired identity instead of your current circumstances. And at first, yes, it takes vigilance. You will catch yourself in the old conversation hundreds of times a day and have to redirect. That is the practice. That is, in fact, the most important practice I have ever described to you. Because when your inner conversation finally shifts permanently, your outer reality has no choice but to follow. It is law. Now, I'm a practical man, and I know that you cannot consciously monitor every thought, every waking second. That would defeat the purpose. You'd be so focused on policing your mind that you'd have no energy for anything else. So here is a simple system, deceptively simple, profoundly effective. Set an alarm every 2 hours. When it sounds, pause, not for 10 minutes, not even for 1 minute, just for 10 seconds. Ask yourself one question. What state am I in right now? Not what are you doing, not how do you feel. What state are you in? Whose consciousness are you operating from, the person who has your desire or the person who wants it? If you've maintained your assumption, acknowledge it. Feel it for a moment. Let it deepen. If you've drifted, and you will drift, everyone drifts, simply return. No drama, no guilt, no spiral of self-recrimination. Rain or shine,